Hello everyone. In this video, we'll discuss the way to find out the ratios of those angles, trigonometrical ratios for those angles which are greater than 90 degree. To start with, I'll take the angle in the second quadrant. The representation is theta greater than equal to pi on 2 but less than pi. That is, the angle that we have specified is in the second quadrant. Now here we take the help of, for all those ratios, we will be taking the help of the angles whose ratio we are familiar with. We know, that is, in particular, the acute angles. The acute angles whose ratio we are aware of is 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree. Now with the help of these angles, we'll try to find out the ratios connected to these angles in different quadrants. As I said, we are taking up for second quadrant. Now how will we be sure that the angle that we are considering will be in the second quadrant? If you add pi on 2 to it, any acute angle pi on 2 added to it will always lie between pi on 2 and pi. I'll explain it. Let alpha be the least angle, that is 0. To this, if you add pi on 2, it is pi on 2. The greatest angle that you can have is pi on 2. To that, if you add pi on 2, it becomes pi. So isn't it the angle lying in the second quadrant? So we make sure that the angle will be in the second quadrant. For that, we'll add pi on 2. There is an alternate way. We can also go in for pi minus alpha. Pi minus alpha will also be an angle which is there in the second quadrant. Take up the least angle, 0, pi minus 0, pi. It's pi. The greatest pi on 2, it will be pi on 2. So the angle still is in the second quadrant. So with these two informations, we'll start. Now how do we find the ratio for the angle theta, which is in the second quadrant, with the help of alpha? As I have mentioned here, theta is expressed as pi on 2 plus alpha. Now the angle that has been described for this angle, the perpendicular, that is, this will be the terminal position of OA. So OP is the terminal position. So for this terminal position, the perpendicular that we have is PM. That is, we dropped a perpendicular from P onto the initial axis. So the perpendicular dropped from P is PM, and M happens to be the foot of the perpendicular. So this is the distance that we have defined as B. So as usual, the definition of sine ratio does not change. Sine of theta is PM upon OP. Now, as I said, we are taking the help of alpha, says that we need to connect the triangle OMP with triangle OBA. So if you observe carefully, you'll find that we can relate the two triangles. If we can relate the two triangles, only then we'll be able to express PM, OM in terms of AB, OB for the angle alpha. Now just observe these two triangles carefully, OBA and OMP. For this right angle triangle, AOB is alpha. This is 90 degree. So obviously this angle will be 90 minus alpha. Now in this triangle, this particular angle is 90 plus alpha. Hence the measure of this angle will be 180 minus 90 plus alpha. That will come out to be 90 minus alpha. So you find that the three angles of these two triangles are equal. The corresponding angles, that is P and O, M and B, O and A, they are equal. One more thing that we observe is OA, that's the radius of the circle, is equal to OP. So we can relate the two triangles by congruence. So we have triangle ABO, ABO congruent to OMP, that's by ASA. So now we come back to this result. Sin theta is PM upon OP. Now what is that theta? It is pi on 2 plus alpha. Now when you connect it to alpha, that is to the triangle AOB, we find PM is equal to PM is equal to BO. So PM is replaced by BO and OP, the radius, will be AO, the radius. Now if you see the triangle ABO, you'll find that this happens to be the ratio cosine. So therefore, sine of pi on 2 plus alpha is cos alpha. Similarly, the cosine ratio cos theta is, now you see OM is to be taken up, it's on the negative x-axis, so it's measured in the negative direction, we have that negative sign, so it's OM upon OP. Again, relating it to the triangle ABO, OM is equal to AB. So that's equal to AB upon OA. The sign continues. The negative sign continues. Now this is the sine ratio in terms of triangle ABO. So we get this relation, that is cos of pi on 2 plus alpha is minus sine alpha. As discussed before, we have seen that for an angle which is there in the second quadrant, the sine ratio happens to be positive, whereas the cosine ratio is negative. So that's what we read from this expression, that is sine ratio is positive and the cosine ratio is negative. So we could express the ratio for this particular angle which is in the second quadrant in terms of alpha. I'll explain this further with the help of this example. Suppose you have theta as 120 degree. Now 120 in terms of radians is 2 pi on 3. So I'm trying to express this 2 pi on 3 as sum of pi on 2 plus an acute angle. Check this sum. Pi on 2 plus pi on 6, 3 plus 1, 4 pi on 6, that is 2 pi on 3. So we could split this 2 pi on 3 as pi on 2 plus pi on 6. So if you are finding the ratio for the sine function, so it's sine of 2 pi on 3 expressed in the form of pi on 2 plus pi on 6. As per the statement, pi on 2 changes the ratio to cos. So this becomes cos of pi on 6. Hence, cos pi on 6 is root 3 on 2. Therefore, sine 2 pi on 3 is root 3 upon 2. Same way, for cos of 2 pi on 3, cos pi on 2 plus pi on 6. Now, cos of pi on 2 plus alpha is minus sine alpha. So it's minus sine pi on 6. That says it's minus half. So the value of cos 2 pi on 3 is minus half. The beginning itself I said that we can express the angle in two ways. One way is to add pi on 2 to the acute angle, or we subtract it from 180. So 180 minus alpha, that's the sign here. The opposite sign, it's minus. Pi minus alpha is, that's the terminal position OP. So the angle described as theta, which is in the second quadrant. So now we'll find the ratios for this particular angle. Sin theta. The triangle formed is PMO because we dropped a perpendicular from P onto the x-axis. So this is the perpendicular. So the sine ratio is perpendicular upon the hypotenuse. That's PM upon OP. Now when you compare the two triangles A, B, O and O, P, M, these two numerically equal, 90 degree, and OP is OA, the radius of the circle. So we find that A, B, O and PMO, they are congruent by ASA. Hence, PM of OPM is equal to AB. PM is equal to AB. So that's sine of pi minus alpha, which is AB upon OA. Now AB upon OA is nothing but sine of alpha. So the ratio for sine of pi minus alpha comes out to be in sine alpha. Likewise for cosine, cos theta, OM, the distance of the foot of the perpendicular from the origin is measured on the negative side. So it's minus of OM upon OP. Now this OM is equal to OB. So therefore this is OB upon OA minus of OB upon OA. Now OB upon OA, OB upon OA is cosine of the angle. So it's cos of alpha. So what we see is cos of pi minus alpha is minus cos alpha. So the same angle 2 pi on 3, which we expressed as pi on 2 plus 6, can also be expressed as pi minus pi on 3. So what will we get if we express it in pi minus pi on 3? Let's see. Sine 2 pi on 3, sine pi minus pi on 3. As per the statement, sine pi minus alpha is nothing but sine alpha. So it comes out to be sine of pi on 3. Sine pi on 3 is root 3 upon 2. So this also gives us the same value as we got before. So it's root 3 upon 2 this way, or when you express it in terms of pi minus alpha, it's still the same value. Similarly, cos 2 pi on 3 is cos of pi minus alpha, which is minus of cos alpha. So cos 2 pi on 3 is minus half, equivalent to that we have found before. Another example is theta is 3 pi on 4. So this 3 pi on 4 can be expressed as sum of in terms of pi on 2 or difference in terms of pi. So if you go in for pi on 2 plus alpha, so this is pi on 2 plus alpha. What is the observation that we see here? Pi on 2 plus alpha, the sign changes to its complementary ratio. Cosine changes to its complementary ratio. So if you have sine 90 plus alpha, as tan can be expressed as sine upon cos. So we find that sine of 90 plus alpha will change to cos of 90 plus alpha, and cos of 90 plus alpha, the denominator part will change to minus of sine. So in short, the ratio finally takes the form of cot. That is, the tan ratio will change to its complementary ratio, that is cotangent, that's cot. The negative sign is from the cosine function. And we have it as minus cot pi on 4, which is equal to minus 1. Now, if the same is expressed as pi minus pi on 4, so we read this as again in the form of sine of pi minus alpha upon cos of sine. Now what you observe here is pi minus alpha does not change the ratio. So we continue with this as sine of pi on 4. Cos pi minus alpha becomes minus cos alpha. So it's minus of cos pi on 4. That negative sign is again attached. So that gives us tan pi on 4, which comes out to be minus 1. So whether you express it as pi on 2 plus or pi minus, the ratio will be same. So the observation that we have is the angle in the second quadrant. For any angle in the second quadrant, it's the sine ratio that is positive. The cosine ratio is negative. The sine ratio positive means its reciprocal, that is cosecant, will be positive, and the rest 4 ratios will be negative. So that way we get one case, that is for finding the angle in the second quadrant. Now likewise, we can have the angle in the third quadrant also. Now the third quadrant, we explain it through, this is explained through 3 pi on 2 minus alpha. 3 pi on 2 is this full angle from here to OY dash. From here, we change the direction minus alpha. So that's changing the direction minus alpha. So the angle that is described by OP, the terminal position, is XOP. That is this angle theta. So for this angle theta, same definition, sine ratio is perpendicular upon its hypotenuse. Again, we need to compare the two triangles. If this angle is minus, this angle will also be alpha, alternate angles. The measure of this angle is alpha, this is 90 degree. The two angles of this triangle also has 90 degree, same angles, one side equal. So we can go in for AAS congruence and prove that the two triangles are congruent. So we need to rewrite this length PM in terms of AB or OB. So what we find is triangle ABO congruent to triangle OMP by AAS congruence. It's AAS congruence. So PM, this length, the PM length is equal to BO. That's BO. Now the ratio BO upon OA is cosine. So we see that sine of 3 pi on 2 minus alpha is minus cos alpha. Because PM is measured on the negative y-axis, so that sine negative is attached to it. For cos theta, it is, as we see, OM is on the negative side. It's minus of OM upon OP, which is nothing but AB. OM is nothing but AB. So it's AB upon OA, that's a minus sign. So it's minus of sine alpha. AB upon the hypotenuse is sine ratio. So again what we find is 3 pi on 2 changes the ratio. Cosine becomes sine. So here also we find that the ratio changes to complementary ratio. That's the conclusion that we have. So whenever you express an angle in terms of sum or difference of pi on 2 or 3 pi on 2, there will always be a change in ratio. Here we have it in terms of the same angle, that is angle in the third quadrant, is expressed as pi plus alpha. Pi plus alpha means pi added to this alpha, which is diametrically opposite. So therefore AOP can be considered as diameter of the circle with OA as radius. And again we'll find that for the angle theta, the sine ratio is PM upon OP. Now PM, again for the congruence, ABO, triangle ABO and PMO are congruent by AAS, congruence. So that gives us minus PM upon OP, that is AB upon OA, which is minus of sine alpha. So we find here that if the angle is expressed in the form of pi plus, there is no change in ratio. So that's what I have concluded from no change in the ratio. Again, I've explained the same with the help of an example. 7 pi on 6 is an angle in the third quadrant. That's expressed in terms of 3 pi on 2 as 3 pi on 2 minus pi on 3. It's split as 3 pi on 2 minus pi on 3. So sine 3 pi on 2 minus pi on 3. 3 pi on 2 changes the ratio to cosine. The angle is in the third quadrant, and in the third quadrant, the sine ratio is negative. So we have the negative sign. So in fact, there are two characteristics that's attached to this to find the ratios for any angles. One is the way it has been expressed. Secondly, the quadrant in which this angle lies.